The simplest way to understand what conscious capitalism is two core principles. Principle number one is that business has the potential to have a deeper purpose than merely maximizing profits and shareholder value. It's not that anything wrong with maximizing shareholder value and making profits. In fact, that's necessary for a business to fulfill its deeper purpose and mission. So making profit is not bad, it's good. But I can't live if I don't eat. I will die. But that is not the purpose of my life, to eat as much food as I possibly can. That is simply a necessary condition in order for me to exist as a biological life form. Business can't survive without profit, but that's not why it exists, or it need not be the reason it exists. So first principle of conscious capitalism is business must discover or create what its deeper purpose is. And that will prove far more energizing for the people that work for it than telling them your job's to try to maximize shareholder value. That's not very inspiring and not very energizing for people. But if you talk about selling the highest quality natural and organic foods in the world that improves people's health, is good for the environment, is good for livestock animals, is making the world a better place, that's highly inspiring and energizing for people. And if we pursue that higher purpose and take care of our customers and create value, then profits will be the result of that. But the profits themselves are not the purpose of the business. The purpose of the business is to fulfill that deeper mission. And profits are a means to the end of the deeper purpose rather than the end in itself. The second purpose of conscious capitalism, or the second aspect of conscious capitalism, is understanding that business is not a machine. It's not a machine where you combine, that's the old metaphor, that's the 19th and 20th century metaphor, that if you combine the factors of production, labor, capital, land, mix them up in the right proportions, like on an assembly line, you'll spit out profit as the end result. So that's, traditional capitalism thinks in terms of a machine or industrial metaphor. A 21st century metaphor would be more of an ecosystem metaphor, understanding the interconnection that all of the different constituencies have in the business, that they are all interdependent on each other. And one way to express that is through an interdependent stakeholder model, that customers, employees, suppliers, investors, larger communities are cooperating together voluntarily to create more value, and they are interdependent on each other. So instead of organizing the business to only create value for one of the stakeholders, the investors, you see it as a system, and leadership's job is to create value, to optimize the entire system and create value for all of the stakeholders. Paradoxically, and this is the thing most people do not understand, that philosophy will also produce more long-term shareholder value than the traditional model of putting the investors and shareholders first. Profits are best pursued indirectly as part of that deeper purpose and within the context of a larger stakeholder system. That is the single most important truth I have to communicate to people. It's one that a skeptical world does not believe easily, but nevertheless, time will prove what I'm saying is true.
You mentioned last night that you believe that businesses are part of the community. They're treated as an individual, they pay taxes, and they have a responsibility. I love that. Could you share that same message with us?
Business absolutely has responsibilities to communities. Business exists within communities. Whole Foods Market has stores all around the country. Right now we're in Austin, Texas. We have 2 stores here. We are best thought of as citizens in those communities. And as citizens, we have responsibilities to the community. The community doesn't merely exist to service Whole Foods Market. Whole Foods cannot be separate from the community. We have to live and exist within that community, and we have to be responsible for that community since we're there existing in it. The mistake people make is they think either business has no responsibility whatsoever to communities, or it has some kind of infinite responsibility. And obviously, this is an individual citizen doesn't have infinite responsibilities, and nor does it have no responsibilities. Business, like individual citizens, has responsibilities in its communities. And I believe that it's not only the local communities where the business exists, but also the communities in which it trades in. In other words, it extends out and throughout the world, if you're trading throughout the world, as Whole Foods is. So I don't believe governmental bureaucracies are going to solve most of the problems that we have in the world today. It's a huge mistake to put our faith and confidence and dependence on governmental bureaucracies. They've had a remarkably bad track record of solving human problems. But I do think individuals, not-for-profit organizations, and the private sector, corporations and businesses, have much more potential to solve most of the problems in the world than governmental bureaucracies will. They're capable of greater entrepreneurship in a way that a bureaucracy is not capable of. So I really think business needs to step up to the plate and begin to take its share of the civic load that exists in the world. There are serious problems in the world, and business, if capitalism would apply its entrepreneurship and its creativity to solving the world's problems, I really believe most of them could be solved in a fairly short period of time.
You mentioned some things that get your employees on fire, gets them rocking and roll. What gets you just gets the goosebumps going?
My philosophy, what gets me going is, my philosophy of life is very simple. People should follow their heart. And if you are following your heart, then you're going to always be on fire. You're always going to be living your passion. You're going to be following your bliss. And each day will be a wonderful adventure. And I really believe that's the way to view life. People make the mistake of thinking they're going to be around forever. I mean, they're not. They're going to be around, at best case scenario, 80, 90, 100 years. We are virtually passing through here. And life's too short to do anything but follow our heart and follow our passion.